to start off their last part of the season after the All-Star break. Zach LaVine looks dominant and confident, going 12 of 17 from the field, scoring 32 points. Patrick Beverley making an impact upon his first game, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists from Pat Bev, only 1 turnover. This Bulls team overall looked like a completely different team when it came to the energy that they played with. Patrick Williams chipping in 17 points off the bench after being benched for Alex Caruso. Dalen Terry scores 11 points in 10 minutes. Drummond with 13 points off the bench. We're going to break it all down, talk about this win and how the Bulls can build off this. Was this a flash in the pan, or is this something that the Bulls can sustain in their level of play? We're going to talk about it, break it all down right after this. And guess what? The Bulls won, so we get to play the winning intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red. Yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red, I see.
All right, fam, we get to see red today as the Bulls get a victory against the Brooklyn Nets, and the Pat Bev effect was in full play today. The energy that this team came out with was completely different. Now, I know it's easy to put all that on Pat Bev. Some of that may have been the extended break for this team to take a look at some things. I don't care what it was. Whatever you want to credit, whoever you want to give the credit to, they all deserved it. This team came out and played a team game that set the tone defensively, that executed defensively, they took advantage, they got out in transition, they pushed the pace. I tell you what, this was probably also the best the Bulls bench looked as well. Now, this is against a Brooklyn Nets team that traded away a bunch of superstars, but this is still a deep team with some talent that gave us the work the last time we faced them. This was a game that we needed to see this Bulls team execute and play in this way. This Bulls team found Nikola Vucevic on mismatches. He did only have 13 points, 13 and 10 and 2 assists, also 2 blocks from Nikola Vucevic. But this was a game that got Vooch involved in, especially in the first half. DeMar DeRozan shooting too many threes in this game to me, but he goes 8 of 17 from the field. He chips in 17 points. Pat Bev's 8. Alex Caruso gave only 4 points, but he impacted the defense, moving the ball around. But the Zach LaVine in this game, this was the closest that we've seen to old Zach LaVine. 12 of 17 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range. He chips in 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Pat Bev did say he didn't want to see Zach pass. 2 assists, only 1 steal, and 32 points from Zach LaVine. This Bulls team had 9 total turnovers as a team. There were times before the All-Star break, this team had 9 turnovers in quarters alone. Only 9 turnovers in this game, while the Brooklyn Nets, 13 turnovers. This Bulls team out-rebounded the Brooklyn Nets by 26, 57 rebounds to 31. From the Brooklyn Nets. This Bulls team also 56% from the field, 46% from three-point range. They had 25 assists on 50 made baskets. This was how we need to see the Chicago Bulls team play. This was the closest to the brand of basketball that we play with Lonzo Ball that we've seen since 25 games into last season. This was a special game for the Chicago Bulls just in the way that they played. Yes, they're not going to score 131 points every game. Yes, they're going to face teams that are better than the Brooklyn Nets. But at least tonight, this team at least came in and is doing some of that work to start cleansing our palate from the taste that was in our mouths from how bad this team sucked at the beginning. In the last couple of weeks. This Bulls team now wins. The Washington Wizards lost today. We face the Wizards on Sunday. If the Bulls can win that game, they outright will hold the 10th spot, that last play-in spot. But we know that the Bulls should have their eyes set even higher than that, right? The way that the team movement without the ball, even the bench players. Patrick Williams playing with the energy that we want to see Patrick Williams play with. And maybe that's why he does need to come off the bench. He has a plus-minus of plus 21. Pat with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers in this game. And Patrick Williams missed a couple of fast breaks. He could have easily had 20 points off the bench for the Chicago Bulls tonight. We got to see a complete game. Kobe didn't shoot the ball too well. He was 2 of 6 from the field, but Ayo played a pretty solid game, 3 of 8 from the field, but 7 points, 9 rebounds, though, from Ayo Dosunmu, 3 assists, 1 steal from him coming off the bench. And Dalen Terry, listen, we're talking about, is Dalen Terry going to stay in the rotation? 11 points in 10 minutes, yes, in garbage time for Dalen Terry, but again, showing that aggression, not passing up shots. He was 3 for 3 from the field in this game. The Chicago Bulls came in and gave us exactly what we needed, exactly what we wanted to see from this team, exactly how this team should be playing basketball. Shout out to Billy Donovan for making a lineup change. That lineup change, at least in this first game, paid dividends. Now the Bulls need to build upon this, right? We can't have this win, the feel-good win, and then come out and lay goose eggs again against other teams. The Bulls, over the next 2 weeks, which they had 6 games, this was the first of those 6 games in 2 weeks, they have to win at least 5 of these. And they have the Washington Wizards up next, then the Toronto Raptors, then the Detroit Pistons, then the Phoenix Suns, which is going to be a tough game for them, and then the Indiana Pacers. The Bulls can win all of those games, except I'm not giving them the Phoenix game. Can they do that, right? With this style of play, with this level of aggression, with this level of execution as well. The keys to the game that I gave the Bulls in my pregame today, well, my pre-recorded video today, I said limit turnovers, shoot the ball efficiently, play solid defense. The Bulls came in and did all of those things today, and it came down to it. The Bulls got the dub, a hard-fought dub, hard-fought in the sense of them executing. The body language was completely different for the Bulls today, right? We didn't see the team that looked down on themselves. This team came out and looked like they knew they were the better team, and they played like it. They executed like it. Didn't give up a lead at all. Led the game throughout. It's rare to say that we see this from the Chicago Bulls team this season, and we got to see it tonight. Yes, the first game back from Pat Bev, and his impact was felt, right? Pat Bev getting the crowd involved. How many times have we seen somebody do things like that? This team played the way that we deserve to play, the way that the city deserves, and the way we like our teams to play. They played tough. They scrapped. They played solid defense. They executed. And that's what we need to see from this Chicago Bulls team going forward. This felt like a good win. This felt like stuff. And the thing with this as well, yes, they shot the ball really well, but everything the Bulls did tonight feels sustainable. This is how the Bulls can play. This is a very sustainable type of play from the Chicago Bulls. We just need to see them actually sustain it. But the way that they played, the way that they executed, the way that they fought, it's very much sustainable. They just have to realize that this is how they have to play every game from now until the end of the season. There's no more gimmies for the Chicago Bulls. There's no more easy ones for the Chicago Bulls. Every single game for the rest of the season matters, and this is the way that the team needs to execute from here until the end of the season. You have to play with a level of urgency. You have to play with a level of confidence. You have to play with a level of energy. We saw the Bulls do all those things tonight, but they got to keep doing it. They have to keep doing it. And if they don't, if they do not maintain this level of play, it's going to get dark. But we're not going to talk about that. Everything that the Bulls did tonight is a very sustainable aspect of their game. These are how the Bulls need to play, and they've now gotten a taste of if they execute like this and everybody embraces their roles, the end of the season could look completely different than how this season was just looking for us 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. This team needs to play this way. They need to find a way to put this in a bottle and execute like this night in and night out. And if the Bulls do that, we're going to start talking about the Bulls a little bit differently. The ceiling to me still isn't necessarily winning a playoff series. I'd have to see the Bulls maintain this level of play for longer than one game. And yes, let's not overreact to one game. But like I said, the way that the Bulls went about their business in this game, they can play like this every game. It's up to them to do it. All right, let's get into the comments and see how you guys feel about it. Shy City 1 says, we beat the ish out of them. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I literally require like Pat Bev did with the Wolves if he gets us to the playoffs after the horrible season we had, cutting the fuck up. We've went through a lot this season. Oh, it's been a lot of up and down this season. Mr. Basketball 23 says, what's good? What's going on, fam? Kiddo, what's up, Haize? What's going on, fam? Glad to have you in here. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button as well. Markella in the building says, hell yeah, I haven't been this happy in a minute. Definitely felt on that one, bro. Completely felt. One above all says they held the lead. Am I drunk? No. And that's the thing. They held on to the lead. That's crazy. Man, what's going on? Haven't watched the last few Bulls games. I hop in the fourth quarter and we up by 50. 50? That's from Zach LaVine's doctor. Listen, this team executed today. That's what we needed to see. Isaac M in the building. Wow, this takes me back to the beginning of last season. That's exactly what this felt like. MC Season, LOL Haize, you were on here talking about how AC wouldn't play power forward. Look what happened. Hey, I told CP Huncho. He called it, man. Like, and it got the victory, right? Bathor Payne, I'm positive this was more a matter of them getting a break. But there were times Pat Bev reminded me of 1 to 3 of the reason Lonzo made us look good. I won't make a call on this until 4 more games. Oh, for sure. right? It's way too early. And some of the more knee-jerk reaction-y Bulls fans are going to completely go and do a 180 from them saying that the season was over. But we need, like I said, the biggest thing about this to me is that the way that the Bulls played today, the way that they won this game is a very sustainable type of play from the Chicago Bulls and execution. They just need to come in and they need to do it night in and night out. And if they do, man, the sky's the limit for this Bulls team. Emmanuel says, Haize, this game reminded me a lot of the 2021 preseason Bulls. It reminded me of the first 25 games from the Bulls last season. How they got in transition, how they pushed the pace, all of that. Chris says, hey, thank you for supporting the channel with the super chat. Wow, we finally dog walked a mediocre team. Proud of the fight on both sides of the floor. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't tell if Dalen is a good shooter or not. That shot needs some work. The release is a little slow at times, but it's come. Where Dalen Terry's shot has come in just a portion of an NBA season that he hasn't even played many meaningful games, it's been night and day. If you go and look at his shot in college, he's done so much work on that shot already. I can't wait to see what he looks like with that shot after an offseason of just working on his shooting. Yo, we are a deep team with this lineup. Absolutely. SP, my God, our defense in the second half sucked. Not impressed, not convinced. I got to disagree with you there. This team still executed defensively until the game was out of reach, and then it was different. Like most of the bench players were in at that point. Got to disagree with you there, but hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Brendan L. Jet says, F the Knicks, always. That's always and forever. Is this current lineup somehow find a way to keep working? Could Pat develop more from the bench? Well, the thing is, Pat was aggressive this game coming off the bench, and that aggression needs to be the aggression he plays with regardless. And, you know, even the times where he missed the transition buckets or hesitated, it seemed like he came out of that pretty quickly. Pat shot the ball well today, too. Didn't pass up three-pointers. He was 2 for 2 from the three-point line, 5 for 8 from the field. He scored 17 points on only 8 shots. That's efficient. And Pat needs to always play like that. Not necessarily, he's not always going to hit those type of shots, but with that level of aggression. What's good, Haize? How you doing, bro? Love Debo. I just still think it's hilarious how 17 from Zach equals trade him, and 17 from Debo is a standing ovation when he checks out. We played great tonight. I feel you on that. It's reputation, that's all, and expectations. King Cap in the building says, I'm eating my words, fam. I'm shocked. See fucking red. Absolutely see red tonight. Got to see red. Bulls Daily. They played with the energy they like they knew they was the better. This is dog energy. We need it every game. Absolutely. This team executed and played like they knew they were the better team out there. They knew they were the better team out there on the court. And we got to see that. And this is how that team plays when they have that level of confidence and they're rocking and rolling. That's what it is. Brandon L. Jet, Bulls snapped a 6-game losing streak. Wake me up when they beat Phoenix. Listen, if this team beats Phoenix, the sky's falling Bulls fans are going to be lift the sky up Bulls fans because they about to be rocking. Bathor Payne, all I know is the point guard situation has to be addressed first and foremost this offseason. Having a vocal leader who would occasionally take guys off the dribble like Pat did was excellent. I definitely think that there's an avenue in which Pat Bev does re-sign with this team. He's back home in Chicago. He's 34 years old, so he's on the back half of his season. He may very well want to finish his career in Chicago now that he's gotten in there. Now, it depends on if the Bulls are going to be willing to pay him, but there's absolutely an avenue for him to stay on this team for the long term, at least for the rest of his career, maybe another 2-3 years. The game was different. This game was different. They looked like they were on a mission. Something was clicking. Yeah, Beverley is on there and made a difference, but damn, this one was different. And a lot of people are going to put it just on Beverley, but it was more than just Pat Bev in this game, right? It was more than that. This team as a whole had a different energy about it. This team as a whole played with a different level of confidence. And that's something that can be built upon as well. That's something that you can do. Jake says 51 points conceded on the end of a third period is amazing defense. Absolutely. Absolutely. Changing the starters improved the bench. Absolutely. Now we got to see if they're going to play like that every night off the bench, but it absolutely did. We finally got some pride from D Greatest. Played with some heart. Haize, can we have 22 more games of this? From your mouth to God's ears, fam. From your mouth to God's ears. Simba says, Haize, we got life. Looked like a completely different team. Completely different. Bathor Payne. That said, I feel like we We'll get a sense of why the whole Lonzo wouldn't fix this team trope is dumb. Having a savage defender who shoots 7+ threes for 40% would solve a ton of things. Yes, it would solve a ton, but it wouldn't fix everything. Let's be clear. That's why I say even the Pat Bev thing didn't fix everything. This team executed and played with a different level. They limited the turnovers. Lonzo does not fix everything wrong with this team. If you go back to it, even when we were winning with Lonzo, I told you guys how this team was going to start losing. So no, it's not dumb. Lonzo does not fix. Matter of fact, to think any one player fixes everything that this team was going through, that's dumb. That Lonzo doesn't fix everything. He helps tremendously, but he doesn't fix everything. But this team tonight played with a different level of energy, completely different level of energy. Austin looked like a different team, one game at a time, incredible. Yeah, listen, for this one game, it was great. Now let's see how they do Sunday against the Washington Wizards. Let's see how they're going to do. King Cap says, I feel dumb for thinking the Nets were going to clap the Bulls' cheeks. I mean, no. You were going off what you had. We haven't seen this team play this way this season. So it'd be crazy to expect this team to play this way when you haven't seen it this season. Trust what you see. Now you've seen it. Now we know that this team can play this way. It's up to them to maintain it for the rest of the season. Push Forward TV. For the first time in a long, I've seen offense, defense, coaching, and having fun in so long. Not sure if Pat Bev came in and fired the team up or what. I'll take it. Let's keep this up. Go shit. Go shit, Bulls. Bulls got to go, man. They got to keep it moving. Keep it moving. Clayton L. Bryant says great. Absolutely. Great win from the Bulls. Brendan L. J says F. Acme took 60 games to get this type of effort. That's tough. That's tough. Letting up those 90 points when we gave up 28 points in the first half. Same old Bulls, same shitty. You're stupid. I'm sorry. That's idiotic. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. I guarantee you probably didn't watch the game if you're saying that. That's just stupid. 32 points on 12 of 17 shootings. All it took was a point guard. Glad AK finally gave Zach the help. It was not just because we had a point guard. If you notice, even when Zach had the ball in his hands, he was more aggressive, going to the lane, getting to the free throw line. It wasn't just the acquisition of a point guard. It helped, definitely, but it wasn't just because of that. Let's see what else we got. Even though we knew already, the fact that LaVine voiced they haven't had a vocal leader since, that speaks volumes. Yeah. And it should be Zach, right? Especially as the team's highest paid player. The fact that you notice your team's lacking a vocal leader and you haven't tried to be that, all right, cool. But I'm glad we got it, right? I'm glad that we got it. And every team's best player isn't necessarily their vocal leader. Derrick Rose wasn't the vocal leader. He proved it on the court, but Joakim Noah was the vocal leader of that team. So let's see. Brendan L. Jet says, y'all delusional as fuck. It's one damn game. That's why I say you got to love Bulls fans. We will overreact to one good or bad thing every single day. Trent Baker. Yeah, Pat, 17 points. Even without garbage time, he had 12 points, 3 offensive rebounds, and 2 steals with the starters out there. Absolutely. He played. Rap God Reloaded. Zach just won a hoop. He just won a ball. Alana's in the building. She's still up, so she ain't got high. Says, finally a good game after 3 weeks. That's tough. That's tough. The more you hear about Bev's story, the more it makes you understand why he cried at the play-in. This dude was still living with his mom his first 3 seasons in the league. Respect to his ugly ass. You got to throw in that dig at the end. That's funny. Omar in the building. Haven't seen you around in a while. Brother, yo, Haize, if my Bulls keep playing with this kind of heart, you will definitely see me at the Detroit game, brother. Good win, fellas. That's what the beep I'm talking about. See Red Nation. Absolutely see Red. Zach LaVine said on the Bulls post game that the team is locked in and is treating every game from this point on like it's game 7. Pat Bev really changed this man, and I love it. It's more than just Pat Bev. I think Pat Bev helped, and he's going to empower. He's going to help motivate. But I think also this team realized that they've been like, when you have some time away to really evaluate, as this team had a week off, you got to realize y'all was playing like shit. You were playing with no heart. The bench held their own and put up buckets, 11 from Terry, 11 from AD, 17 from P. Wizzy. Decent total team showing. The second unit could actually dominate offensively against most teams' benches. We got to see. Let's see if it keeps up, right? We got to see if it keeps up. So what's the nickname for Pat Will and Pat Bev? Because right now we switching names and I'm like, I think it's Pat Bev and it's P Will, right? See what else we got. Trying to catch up on the chat. Y'all been rapping. Bulls Daily in the building says, we don't need another score. We have enough of that. The type of player that Pat is, that's the type of player we needed. I mean, that is, we needed a vocal leader, right? And Pat, with his, just the fact that he's not going to pass up open shots. He's going to get everybody involved. He's going to communicate on the defensive side of the ball. That's what we're going to need. That's what we needed. Y'all thirsty as hell for Pat Bev's girl in the chat. Like, if y'all never seen a pretty woman before, Jesus. The Nets laughed the Bulls off the court last game. You expect the Bulls to dog walk them into oblivion. This was encouraging to see. I really hope they keep this going. Eddie, you and me both, bro. Omar says, yo, Haize, you remember our deal? If we go on a 10-game winning streak, you got to cut that pubic hair off your face, my boy. I never agreed to that. Plus, your mama likes sitting on like I told you, this is just your mama's coochie hair left on my face, bro. Like, the beaver is thick. And, you know, it's cool, bro. It keeps my face warm in the winter. Omar's my dude, man. But also importantly, even though we see a difference with Pat Bev, let's not get ahead of ourselves to think just signing only him next season will solve all. We need more players like him. This team's, like I said before, the work does not change on what this team needs to fix and what the front office needs to fix with this team in the offseason. I own P. Will off the bench is a great asset to have. Finally got to see us increase a halftime lead rather than blowing it. Hope to see the energy this time. Thanks for all the work, Haize. From Kyle Talkington. Glad to have you in the building, brother. 8 lives. Nice pickup, Haize. It got to be a bitch dealing with Alex and Pat Bev at the same time. That's a defensive matchup, bro. That's tough. That's tough. Let's see what we got. Angel in the building. Man, if only they play like this on a consistent basis, hopefully we can find our identity within this stretch. I'm not asking for an ECF run, but we got to figure out something out before the season ends. Oh, for sure. And like I said, the thing that's most encouraging about this win to me isn't how much we won by. It isn't the lead. It's the fact that the things that we did well in this game are very sustainable ways of playing basketball. This is very much within how the Chicago Bulls can play. And the thing is, Zach LaVine had 32, DeMar had 17. That's going to flip-flop sometimes, but it's still a sustainable level of play. We shot the ball over 50% from the field. That's a sustained execution. If you execute, take the smart shots, right? 25 assists on 50 made baskets. That's how this team needs to play. 9 turnovers. We need to keep that up. That's what we need to keep up. Jose Sanchez, what's good, Haize? Puerto Rico in the house. This was by far the best game from start to finish from the Bulls, but they have to be consistent and accumulate more wins. Oh, yeah. We can't let this one win make us take our eyes off the work that needs to be done. We have to continue to execute. We have to continue to play with a sense of urgency every single night. We cannot give up. We cannot give up. Troy says we have to find a long-term solution at point guard, Haize. I told you guys if you were at the halftime hangout, I told you guys what I expect. Until we know exactly what's going on with Lonzo Ball and we have that money wrapped up, the Bulls aren't going to give any long-term money at point guard. So it's more than likely that we're going to re-sign Pat Bev. I'm just telling you guys, more than likely that's probably what it's going to be. And then in next offseason, when we have more cap space, that may be where they do something long-term at the point guard. But again, we got so long before we get to that. So much longer before we get to that. Jahad Dean in the building says, what do you think of DeRozan staying next season if they stay at this pace? I've said it before. Nothing changes the work that needs to be done this offseason. You have to make some wholesale changes on this team. And because we have, with 9 guaranteed contracts, we are $13 million over the salary cap, but underneath the luxury tax, you still got to clear a big contract. You still got to do some wholesale changes to this team. I'm not saying blow it all up, but I'm still saying that it's a high chance that one of the big 3 does not come back. I've said it before. There's not one victory. There's nothing that this Bulls team can do outside of magically going on an ECF run that changes that they need to do some major differences in this offseason. I wonder how many cats cancel YouTube TV during the losing streak about to re-up. You can watch NBA games on YouTube TV. I'm League Pass. I don't do YouTube TV. I will next season because what Red Zone is now going to be, or whatever it's called, with the Sunday Ticket, whatever it's called, is going to be on YouTube TV. I'll definitely have that subscription then. But yeah. This was irritate me about this team because I know how good we can really be, but we just so inconsistent. Yeah, this team, we have the talent. It's just that we gotta execute. Question, Haize, if this kind of play keeps up, what changes to our big three would you make in the summer? Because just adding Pat Bev, it looked like our big three have possibly found a sustainable rhythm. Listen, it's one game. We can't answer that based off run game. Let's not overreact to one game. Now, if we get into 5, 10 games, not winning, right? Because it's hard to go on that long of a winning streak. But if this level of play maintains for 5 to 10 games, then let's have that conversation. It's one game. Let's make sure that it's real before we do that. Do you think that we will see the all defensive lineup you mentioned on Lock On? We could see it. We could. If we blow out the Wizards, what then? We'd be the 10th seed. But other than that, the Bulls still need us. At that point, you still need to do it for more than just 2 games. LaVine or Debo, if one has to go next year, Debo, all day. The older player is always going to be the one that I pick to go. A player that's still in their prime in Zach LaVine, especially if you put the right team around him and what he's able to do scoring-wise, you don't give that up if you're doing any one of them. So, said it from day one, this team lacks toughness. Caruso getting smashed last season and not one soul retaliated for that cheap shot by Allen. The team is weak and soft. Bev brings a Chicago toughness. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that Grayson Allen thing isn't going to happen if Pat Bev is on the court. Debo, I have a whole video on this. It's going to be Debo. Thank you, Haize. Speak some reality in the fans. Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand this win was exciting, especially with how much that we've been sucking and how much we've gone through. I completely understand the excitement around this game and how the team played. But we need to make sure that it's real. We need to make sure that it's sustained for quite a while before I'm willing to say that we fixed anything. But we can still do it. So let's see. Chirac Insider says that team is better than Boston. I'm telling y'all, they're going to beat them in Game 7. Talking about the Chicago Bulls team? Yeah, we'll see. Omar says, watch the fucking Reinsdorf raise the prices at the UC since we got a legit Chicago net. Oh, bro, that's crazy. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong. This game just hit different. I don't know if Pat was cussing these mugs out, but damn, this was an incredible game. Pat and Io should play off the bench more often. Listen, they just need to play that way, regardless of where they play. If Patrick Williams played with that level, because keep in mind, still only 8 shots, but he was more aggressive. He was attacking the rim. He was attacking the dribble. If Pat plays like that, regardless of what lineup he's in, it changes some things for the Bulls. That's how P. Will needs to play permanently. I'm of the belief that this team is, in fact, good enough for an ECF run and always has been. We've beaten the best team too many times to not think we're capable. What was missing was mentality. I think it's more than just mentality. We do have some fundamental things. Again, this is one win. Let's see how it goes. But we're still missing more than just mentality. Now, mentality helps. Mentality can get you to punch above your weight. Mentality can get you to win a series that maybe skill doesn't necessarily get you to. What did I say? Heart will do what sometimes skill won't do, right? And so when you play with a level of heart, you're able to accomplish some things that you don't necessarily, that your skill level may not tell you that you can do. The prices have already increased. The Pistons Sixers were $18 for nosebleeds. Now it's $30 for the same seats. That's crazy. Vaughn says, I can see us signing cheaper contracts like Pat Bev and Javante and trading bigger contracts like DeMar and Caruso and going from there, re-signing Io and Kobe and signing backup power forward center. Well, keep in mind, Javante's not going to be a cheaper contract. So Javante's not, like, he's 29 years old, going to his first time in restricted free agency, and he's a dog. He's not going to be cheap to re-sign. It's not happening. But otherwise, I do think that is a route that they could do, right? They could move a DeMar or a Caruso to split up that money over multiple players. They could move both, right? Especially if Lonzo's healthy. If Lonzo's healthy, I do think that you don't bring back Pat Bev and Caruso. You move one of those two so you can put that money more so on some shot blocking and size legitimately. But we'll see what happens in the offseason with this team. Alvin City of Game says, what Bev brought to the Bulls is what we missed from Lonzo on the defensive side. Nice to see two defensive-minded guards and Bev and Caruso bringing the intensity and communication on the defensive side of the ball. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sydney, do you think Billy coached a good game or was it more so on the players? I know that's a weird question to ask, but I hope you get what I mean. No, it's not a weird question. Billy Donovan did some good things today. He used his timeouts effectively. I think when the Bulls went on that initial run and the Brooklyn Nets scored a couple of baskets, he called a timeout. It was early in the first. And even the scheme of using the players off the bench, I think it's a mixture of both. The players came out and just executed and played great with a level of chemistry that I didn't necessarily expect the team to play with changing the starting lineup the way that they did. But then also like the players executed, and it was a solid, especially defensive game plan. So what's going on? Auntie Goons in the building. Glad to have you here. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better as well, Auntie. Is it just me or did Billy actually look like a competent head coach tonight, making adjustments and changes at the right time? Your thoughts, bro? Agree with you. Absolutely did that. Vaughn says, I feel you for sure. I feel like Javante's injury could lower his price depending on what he looks like when he returns. Oh, that's a great point. Especially considering it was a knee surgery and it was a debridement and you were on a 4 to 6 week period. We're at 13 weeks now and you're not back. It could. Definitely could. Vooch moves on. Who said that? That's a crazy comment. That's crazy. Trade DeMar and Javante for Siakam and OG Anunoby. Then trade jump. This isn't 2K. This what? Come on, fam. The trade deadline passed. Please stop with y'all crazy ass trade ideas. Please stop. Go to 2K with that. Please stop. Fantasy. I play fantasy basketball. Do something. Goon, did you threaten Billy Gum endorsement deal to make him actually do a better job coaching? That's funny. He's shouting tempo from the bench too. He's the voice we need. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. S.Gaming. Thoughts on Patrick Beverley? He brought the energy that we need. The communication on the defensive side. Those type of things. That's what helps this team in the way that they played tonight. What I would say for sure, Pat Bev and Alex Caruso being leaders of the defense can help and change that. They were putting pressure on the 3-point shots, which have been our downfall with defense. Yeah, and point of attack defense as well. Can't forget the Bev. That's funny. That's hilarious, actually. Would you trade Zach for AD straight up? No, because I'm telling y'all right now, AD in the Chicago winter, them legs falling off immediately. Legend said, Billy wasn't chewing as much. I'm concerned they put something in the gum that made his head backfire. Somebody poisoned Billy Donovan's gum reserves. That's why he hasn't been coaching. He's been poisoned from the inside out of the brain. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Trade DeMar for Ja and Desmond Bane and trade Alex for Kyle Kuzma. That's the type of trades people come up with. It's like, come on, fam. What do you think of Terry Taylor? I think he's going to be an important. Oh, he's not going to be an important piece. He's a two-way contract. He literally, by definition of being a two-way player, can't be an important piece for us because he's a two-way player. He can only play a certain amount of NBA games, so it's not going to be an important piece for us. Now, Dalen Terry could possibly be. Like, why? How are you getting that Terry Taylor can be an important piece and he played 4 minutes? Come on, bro. Vern, I love you, bro, but you overreacting a little bit to that, brother. Juan Miller says, I know it's only one game, but if the Bulls play like this all the time, how far could we go this year? Listen, I still think maybe a second round appearance. I don't think like if they play with this level of intensity, with this level of execution, and continue shooting the ball this well, and Zach LaVine plays this efficiently, yeah, the sky's the limit. But I still think it's still at best, maybe depending on the matchup. If we get a matchup like Boston, a team that we match up good against, maybe we can get lucky and get out the first round. But I think still more than likely, even playing this way, we're still a first round exit, in my opinion. But we'll see. Dude is not playing Terry Taylor. Exactly. Like, come on, man. Terry Taylor being a big piece, an important piece for us. Nah, man. Nah. I still don't believe in this team. I'm going to need to see at least 3 more big wins to believe we aren't a lazy team. I agree with you, right? This one win feels good and it's great. Like, feel it, embrace it. Let this feeling come over you. Enjoy it. But we still need to see more of this and more consistently from the Bulls before at least I'm ready to say that this is something that's going to be sustained. It can be sustained. The way that this team played today is a style that they can sustain with the skill that they have on this team, but they got to stay locked in. They got to stay locked in. And I want to see how this team does respond when they do lose a game, right? That Phoenix game, if the Bulls lose that game big, I want to see how they respond back after that, right? Do they go back to getting down on themselves? Do they keep the level of confidence that they played with? Those are some things that I need to see before I'm willing to necessarily say that this is going to stay this way. It can, but I'm not willing to say it quite yet. Kashay Taylor says, see red. What's going on? Glad to have you in the building, Kashay. We can't get too hyped for this team. We all know the Bulls' ass. Yes, we know how the Bulls can be, right? Locked on Bulls tonight, Haize. Yes, we will be doing a Locked on Bulls brief. Not a full episode. We'll be doing a 15-minute joint. Especially, we were planning on doing that just because it was the first game back after so long. But especially after the energy around this game, we're absolutely doing a Locked on live after this. So refreshing seeing a hard-fought game. I'm going to enjoy this win. Absolutely. Absolutely. If we ever decided to part with Dragic, I think we should go after D-Rose all the way. After all, the New York Dicks aren't using the man right. Bring that man home. If we didn't have Pat Bev, yes. If we don't re-sign Pat Bev at the end of the offseason, I wouldn't necessarily be against it as a free agent. But there's still no indication that they're going to be buying out Derrick Rose. He still has another year on his contract after this, if I'm not mistaken. So let me make sure on that. Let me just check it. Let me make sure, because I could be tripping. I'll be tripping sometimes. Yeah, he has an additional year of this, but it's a team option. So the New York Knicks, technically at the end of the season, could not do that option, which they probably won't, because he's slated to make $15 million next season. They're probably not going to pick up that option. Derrick Rose probably will be a unrestricted free agent, so we'll see. Mickey Tan said, I was at work, how to go. The Bulls won by damn near 50, bro. It went damn good. Damn good. Bipolar ass team, we got to keep our eyes and prayers up for Bulls. Can't trust the Bulls right now. Oh, for sure. Not off one win. You can't trust them off one win. Now, if we start playing like this 3, 4, 5 games, then we can start trying to say that we turned the corner. But let's make sure that it's going to be sustained. Push forward TV. Everyone can ball, but I would love to see Derrick Jones Jr. working on the mid-range post and being more aggressive instead of standing at the wing waiting for a shot. Well, he is aggressive when he cuts and he gets those putbacks and things like that, but, we'll see. I will be going to the March 5th game against the Pacers. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully. That's next Sunday, right? Is that next Sunday? Let's make sure. Yeah, that's next Sunday. So yeah, next Sunday's game. Brain doesn't work for the Bulls. God ain't listening. You know what? I'm going to let my inner Bulls fan take over because I don't care what the next time I'll be able to feel this type of joy, especially coming from this team. Markel, can't even argue with you on that one, bro. Can't even argue with you on that one. When you see our starters sitting out damn near whole fourth quarter, we played a great game. We need to see more of this. Absolutely. They took care of business. right? Took care of business. King Booker World says, what's good, Haize, what's good, fam? Dan 44, huh? Yeah, balling. Carlo says, oh my God, the next game against the Wizards is going to be at 4:30 in the morning in my country. That's tough, bro. That's tough. The Bulls got to crush quite a few teams on their remaining schedule. I'll name a few: Minnesota, Houston, Indiana, and Denver. Those teams straight up made them look soft. Hey, let's see. Let's see if they can go out and get their revenge. Did you see Pat Bev's interview from Paris in his amazing suit overlooking the Eiffel Tower? Napoleon reincarnated or uncanny coincidence? Well, I mean, Napoleon was a lot shorter than Pat Bev. He's 6'1", which is short basketball-wise, but in real life, that's tall. Napoleon was like 4'6". Like, it's completely different. Does D-Rose make the Bulls a better team? I don't care about him coming home. I remember when D-Rose was clear to play, but his family member told him not to play, and that hurt the Bulls. Listen, that was over a decade ago. Get over it. Get over it. And it ended up being right. Like, it ended up being right. You would have hurt the team more. If he didn't trust that leg, he was having that doubt, it would have hurt the team more. So, I'm going to still call they ass Chicago bullshitters till I see different for real. Can't trust Bulls. I love them, but don't trust them. Listen, Auntie, I completely understand where you're coming from on that right now. It's hard to trust this team with how up and down they've been this season. It's hard to give that level of trust. It's hard to think that and just assume that they're going to keep it up with how sucky they've been at points this season. So, that's completely fair, I think. Pat Bev re-signed next year. He hates to lose. Why would the Bulls get D-Rose if he only sit for the whole season? I mean, I feel you there. They'd have to get to 500 before I can trust him. That's fair. Hey, that's a fair mark. I like that. Should the Bulls have kept Mac McClung? Why? He's not a good NBA player. Because of some dunks? See, this is where we get into bad spots, right? When we want to keep people for things that have nothing to do with winning games. Mac McClung is not an NBA level player. So no, they shouldn't have kept Mac McClung. Will we see a 4-game winning streak this season, man? I hope so. We had a 4-game winning streak, right? Oh no, we almost had a 4-game winning streak. I forgot. Every time it looks like we're going to get a 4-game winning streak, we lose. Hey, let's hope so. Let's hope that they can get it on this part of the season. I knew I would get roasted. Oh, that's not even roasting, bro. That's not even roasting. Last week, the Bulls were beating Pacers 39-15 after the first quarter. We thought the Bulls would do the Pacers like we did tonight. I didn't. In that game, I literally was like, oh no, we finna give up the lead. I had no confidence in the Bulls to maintain that lead against the Pacers. None. I know we knew it already, but the fact that LaVine voiced they haven't had a vocal leader since we already talked about that. Why did you leave that comment twice? I read that exact same comment. Yo says, Haize, looking at the schedule, I think we can go 16-6 with the 6th easiest fixture and to get into the 8th if all goes well. I mean, hey, listen, you real hopeful. I don't share that hope right now. I just don't. Let's see if we can do it. Guadalupe says, thank you, Haize, for the consistency and quality content, C-Red. I appreciate that. That we're the only truly daily Chicago Bulls channel. And by that, I mean, there are a lot of Bulls channels that post Monday through Friday. I'm Monday through Sunday every single week. Every single week. Come rain. Hell, I traveled. I was in California for my sister's wedding and still gave you guys content. That's it. Yes, man. Hey, is my phone tripping at work? Give me a break. Hey, I was just messing because I was reading it. I'm like, wait a second, I read this already. Get Unc a new mic. Listen, C-Dub think that mic sound good, bro. Like, that shit drove me crazy. That man sound like he underwater. I need Bulls fans to leave D-Rose alone. Let him join a contender. He doesn't even really bring anything we need, especially at his current age. He'll sign a one-day contract with us and retire. That's it. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing Derrick Rose on the back end. If we ever get to the point where we have a championship level team, I wouldn't mind Derrick Rose taking up that last empty spot on the bench, whether he's there just to be a fixture on the bench or not. Because if we become that team, I need Mans to get a title with us. 4-game win streak en route. Let's hope that holds true. Holding the bag. I agree, Haize. Mac was sitting in street clothes last night against the Grizzlies. That's it. That's it, man. NBA Central, my other channel, says subscribe here for more NBA content. You get Haize, the Cognac Boys, Steve-O, Kev, and more from the channel. We're going to get Brandon L. Jet on there a few times. We're going to get him on there. Thank you for the super chat. The Flaming Turtle says Bulls Bev versus Grayson Allen going to be some funny shit. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All Chicago front offices either overthink or don't think enough. Never the perfect move. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Mike looks professional. Sounds all right. Oh, he's not talking about my mic. He's not calling me Unc. He's talking about C-Dub on the Cognac Boys. This is a legendary mic. This is the RE20. This mic is legendary. So yeah, this is a mic you'll find in most radio stations. Check out the CEO Haize and Cognac Boys and Steve-O speaks at NBA Central. Thank you. Always holding it down. Would you have played Carlick, Terry, Taylor, Marco, and DJJ for the entire fourth quarter? No. What for? Play who you gonna play. The players are still working out their rhythm. They played the right people. I'm happy this first game that we embarrassed a team since the Wolves embarrassed us. The main event still Haize. Who, me? I appreciate that. Remember when Jim Boylan told Laurie if he wanted touches, he needed a rebound. Just wanted to remind everyone of that. Jim Boylan, who's still leading Team USA, which is crazy to me, bro. Like, the fact that anybody gives that man a job is wild to me. Severely wild. Huh. Okay. Auntie Goon with the super chat. Thank you, Goon, for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. This nigga. Haize, that mic shape like your tape measured neck. Love you, big dog. I hate you, Omar, but I love you too, brother. I love you too. That was a good joke. That was a good one. I honestly don't necessarily even have a comeback for that one. I barely have a neck. I'm glad I do, though. I'm glad I have a neck, but it's different. New look Bulls finals. Come on, man. Let's stop overreacting, bruh. Come on, fam. Come on, let's not do that, man. Let's not do that. Brandon L. Jet said, Auntie got that long. I remember when Brandon L. Jet used to bless me with super chats. Now he just says, fuck the Chicago Bulls, man. It's rough times, man. Rough time. Honestly, how do people like Jim Boylan get jobs when Melo struggles to play in the league? What's with the politics in the league? I honestly think Melo may just be over it. I can't believe no team even gave him a call. Like, all the teams that needed scoring off the bench, that's just crazy to me. Goon says, you know how we do, Neff. You got to support. I appreciate you, Auntie. Definitely appreciate you. Alana got that. I slept through the fourth quarter weed. That's funny. Chicago Bulls Central says, hey, I got 7 kids, allegedly. Who said you got 7 kids? That's deep. Who wins the championship first, the Bulls or the Bears? I'll just say the Bears because I think the NFL is built better for quick turnarounds. Like, a team can go from being one of the worst teams to one of the best teams in way quicker time than what an NBA team usually can in the NFL. So if I had to pick one, I'd say the Bears. Cortez says, hey, bang, bang, bang. Okay, well, I bet the ladies love you. Just showed up and said, bang, bang, bang. No hi, hello. No, the Bulls played great. Just bang, bang, bang. Brandon L. Jet with the super chat. Whoa, with the big super chat. Thank you, Brandon L. Jet, for supporting the channel as you always do, brother. You know I appreciate you, man. Hugely. It's crazy that Miles Leonard got a contract over Melo at this. I really do truly think that Melo's probably sitting out this season. I think Melo may have retired. He may just not have announced it. Every team's probably calling him. He's probably like, no. I just can't imagine some of the players that we've seen. Hell, TJ Warren, after being out of the NBA for 2 years because of injury, got a deal. I just can't imagine that no team made a call for Lonzo. Lonzo may have retired and just unofficially. Unofficially. Renicon, my stepsister's name is Terry Taylor, causing weird cognitive dissonance. That's funny. Funky Dave says, Brandon L. Jet, the real MVP. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Brandon L. Jet says, yeah, I've been slipping on super chats. I'll do, but I don't want to listen. I don't want to make it sound like that. You know, I appreciate everything you do for the channel, brother. Everything you do, being a member, even shouting out that the member video that I posted, you said was the best that you've seen in a while. Like, I appreciate all the support you give, bro. Super chats or not. I just want to make that clear. I don't want to make it seem like I don't appreciate you, because you know I do. Lemon character moving in excitement. Oh, an emoji. I don't know why the emojis don't come through. Thank you, Kashay, for the super chat and supporting the channel at that level. Sis, you know I appreciate you. Sean says, Melo's at my country right now. He's the FIBA ambassador, apparently. See? I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's doing other things. He's just moved on. Y'all finna start calling for, oh my God, keep Jello listen, keep G League Kobe in the G League, man. But all right, y'all, I appreciate you guys so much. We're going to go over to Locked On Bulls now, so make sure you guys go over and hit the subscribe button there as well. Thank you so much for supporting, being the best part of this channel. We're going to do it officially. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. Man, we are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls. I missed the super chat. Hold on. Before I go, I got Kashay's super chat. Whose super chat did I miss? I got Brandon L. Jets. Thank you and support for Brandon L. Jet. Oh, another one from Goon. Thank you for supporting Auntie. Did I miss that one? Is that the one that I missed? I got Flaming Turtles, right? Yeah, I got Flaming Turtle. I don't see any missed super chats. Oh, AK. Didn't miss AK. Sorry about that. AK says, hey, $4.99 super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. Says, think what can be repeatable and how play with the lead and close out a game. Playing to win versus playing not to lose. Play to win the whole game. Absolutely agree with you, brother. We definitely played to win the whole game. So I appreciate that. But is there any other super chat? That one I had to go to the YouTube to get. What other super chat did I miss? All right, that's it, y'all. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Go to Locked On. Peace, y'all. Oh, wait, we get to do the right outro song. We won, so we get to do this.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.
I see red.